the ever-burning furnace of bodybuilding where flesh meets fire and iron meets will, where ordinary men are broken and extraordinary men are forged. Three titans stand today as the embodiment of the sport's wildest dreams and fiercest storms: Samson Dauda, Michal Krizo, and Rubiel Mosquera. And what you're about to hear is not just another bodybuilding narrative, not just another hype video, but a journey into the core of human willpower, into the places where muscles are not just built, but souls are sharpened into weapons, where the roar of the crowd becomes the fuel for transformation, where every rep is a prayer to the gods of strength and every competition a battlefield written into modern myth. Because bodybuilding at its truest essence is no longer about the simple flex of biceps or the flash of abs. It is about legends being born under the blinding lights. And Samson, Krizo, and Rubiel are not just competitors. They are living storms, embodiments of raw hunger, carved visions of greatness. So imagine the scene, the Olympia stage trembling under their combined presence, thousands of fans screaming until their lungs burst, cameras struggling to capture the sheer magnitude of what these monsters bring to the table. And in the center of it all, three men who came from entirely different worlds, but collided on one battlefield, where only the strongest legacies survive, because Samson Dauda, the Nigerian lion, is not just a man, he is a myth in motion, a giant who carries his homeland on his shoulders and transforms every ounce of struggle into stage dominance. He rose from nothing but passion and grit, grinding through years of invisibility. And then, when the world least expected it, he broke through, shaking the foundation of the Olympia with mass, symmetry, flow, and the kind of charisma that makes judges stop writing and audiences stop breathing. His chest like a shield, his legs like pillars of an ancient temple, his posing an artwork sculpted by blood and time. And then there's Michal Krizo, the Slovakian juggernaut, a man whose physique seems less like flesh and more like marble, carved by gods but powered by veins of electricity, a body so grainy, so detailed, that it feels like granite walking, every fiber etched with discipline, every pose screaming defiance at anyone who dared underestimate him. And let's not forget how the entire internet buzzed when Krizo jumped into the IFBB Pro League. Doubters mocked, critics whispered, but when he stepped on stage and unleashed that monstrous size, those round shoulders, that thick chest, and those spiderweb veins exploding across his arms, silence replaced doubt, awe replaced mockery, and Krizo became a name written in fire. And then the most unpredictable of them all, Rubiel Mosquera, the freak of nature, the anomaly, the chaos incarnate, the man the internet baptized as Neckzilla, because one look at his freakish neck, his wild mass, his dense structure, and the world knew this was no ordinary physique. This was a once-in-a-generation freak factor that makes crowds go insane, judges sit up straighter, and cameras go viral in seconds, because bodybuilding has always had its freaks. Dorian Yates with his granite density, Marcus Rule with his cartoonish size, Big Ramy with his overwhelming mass. But Rubiel is a different breed. His presence alone sparks electricity in the arena. His physique is not polished perfection but pure shock and awe, a spectacle that cannot be ignored. And that unpredictability is exactly what makes him so dangerous. Because on stage, where every line and angle is scrutinized, sometimes the freak who forces you to look twice, who makes the crowd scream louder, who shakes the internet, becomes the man who wins it all. And that's why imagining Samson, Krizo, and Rubiel standing side by side is like watching three storms colliding, each with its own nature. Samson, the flowing lion, graceful yet deadly. Krizo, the cold granite statue powered by lightning. And Rubiel, the chaotic earthquake that destroys patterns and rewrites expectations. And when storms collide, destruction is guaranteed. But from that destruction emerges history. History that will echo through generations of bodybuilding fans who will look back and say, that was the era of giants, that was the time when three titans walked the earth. And the truth is, bodybuilding has always been more than just sport. It is theater, it is war, it is mythology and muscle. And these three men prove it, because Samson's journey is a story of perseverance, of a man rising from shadows to roar at the top. Krizo's path is one of defiance, of silencing doubters with sheer undeniable size and condition. And Rubiel's tale is one of shock, of a freak who came out of nowhere and bent the internet to his will. And together they represent every facet of why we watch this sport, why we cheer, why we believe. Because we are not just looking at physiques, we are looking at philosophies of war. We are seeing culture, struggle, and hunger forged into form. We are watching the human body pushed to realms once thought impossible, and fans know this. Every time Samson hits a front double biceps, the arena shakes with his lion presence. Every time Krizo spreads those granite lats, the crowd gasps at his density. Every time Rubiel flares his freaky neck and delts, the internet explodes with memes, hashtags, and debates. And that's what makes bodybuilding today more than ever a global storm. Because impact is not measured only in trophies, but in how loudly your name echoes through the halls of history. And right now, Samson, Krizo, and Rubiel are echoing louder than ever, rewriting the very script of Olympia itself. So fans, buckle up, because the next Olympia battles are not just contests. They are chapters of an epic, wars that will define bodybuilding for decades, and we are blessed to witness them unfold live. So remember, legends are not born, they are made. They are forged under pain, polished under discipline, and unleashed under the brightest lights. And Samson Dauda, Michal Krizo, and Rubiel Mosquera are proving before our eyes that greatness is not given. It is carved rep by rep, set by set, scar by scar. And if you want to stay part of this unstoppable storm of muscle, madness, and modern mythology, then don't forget, subscribe to Muscle Kraze, because this is the fire that never dies.